G'day guys, my name's Des, and today we're rolling guards on this BMW 335. But before we do any sort of rolling of the actual guard itself, there's a couple of things that we need to check, and that is whether it has a seam sealer inside the actual lip of the guard, which is all filled up, all inside in there. And what that means is that because it's filled up, the lip itself can't be bent and closed in because it's full of this solid material. So we need to check that, and by doing that, to do that, you need to remove some bolts or some nuts underneath the liner to be able to pry open the liner. So let's have a look and see which of these nuts that you need to remove. First of all, you have a 10mm there, another 10mm up there, and a third 10mm there. Then you have 3 8mm there. 1, 2 and 3. Then you need to pull away this liner from within the actual lip or the guard itself to get access in there, which is where the seam sealer sits. The seam sealer, so what do you need? You need a Stanley knife, a very durable Stanley knife. You basically get your head underneath there, and you just basically keep slicing away and prying little bits away. It takes a while, and you do need to take a lot of safety precautions. I've cut myself pretty severely once or twice. The other thing that you'll need to do is make sure that you cover the rotor and the caliper area, because there's a lot of crap that falls from underneath there, and you don't want that getting caught into your pads, etc., and then causing some scoring and scratching in your rotors. Okay, let's have a look at how much of the material you need to remove. So here's my little pile of seam sealer. So basically this is just from one corner or one wheel arch. All right, that's the minimum you need to remove. The other side has been repaired, and therefore there was no seam sealer to be removed. So fortunately for the customer, he's just saved himself $30, because that's half an hour's worth of work that I don't have to get in there and do. Okay, so now that the liner's all been put back in, the seam sealer's removed, now we're going to actually start rolling the guard. So we're going to grab ourselves our heat gun. I've set this to around about 370 degrees, and we're going to get this so hot that it hurts my skin when I touch it, right? And then we're going to start panel beating up that lip and flatten that lip before we bolt on the roller to push on this guard to slightly flare it out just a tad. It changes the angle from, say, like a 90 degree, just out about an extra 15 degrees out, and therefore it gives you that little bit of extra clearance. Plus it looks a little bit more aggressive as well. So let's get this done, eh? Alright, so this panel is really nice and hot. So it's time to actually roll that in a lip now, which is this bit here, and you can see all the signs of rubbing there. And what we've got here is a solid metal panel beating dolly, which is wrapped in a microfiber cloth, so that way we don't scratch the car as we put pressure onto the outside before picking up the mallet, and we start panel beating that side or the underside of the lip in. Now that the lip's all been panel beated in, now what we're going to do is bolt on this roller like I have here, and we're going to heat it up the paint as per normal, because you've got to get it piping hot, and then we're going to start swinging away on the roller. Don't forget your protective wear. Now that we've used the roller and pushed on the guard, we've actually flared this out a bit. Might be a bit hard to notice it on my camera, but it is actually, you can see that there's a little bit more concave curvature around about here. It's actually a little tiny bit distorted if you get the right light into it as well. Alright, so when it comes to flaring out guards, there's always, or guard rolling in general, there's always a high risk of distortion. Some of it is very minor, most of you won't even notice it, and some of you who might be a bit fussy may not like it if it's something that is a much newer car. So it's not something you just go ahead and say, yeah, just start flaring it out please, Des, alright? And next in my bag of tricks for completing this guard rolling job on the 335 is this grinder here. Now on the BMWs, especially with aggressive fitment, well, to be honest, it's aggressive fitments on nearly any car really. This part here, this corner part right there, that's the next problem now that the lip is out the way. Quite often it rubs here or within this sort of bumper area. So because there's this really sharp bit right here and there's no gain that can be gotten out of rolling the guard or rolling around here, so therefore we need to shave off and grind this little section out to gain an extra, say, hopefully another 4 or 5 mil. So that's there, all done and grinded out, and you can clearly see that we've probably gained about an extra sort of, or I would say close to sort of 4 mil there. So I might just do a little bit more. There you go. You can see that's probably definitely closer to 5 mil in that sort of area there. Nicely tapered as well. And now we're just going to brush a little bit of primer or touch up paint on there just so that way it doesn't rust. And then job done. Wheels back on. So I've compressed the actual shock and the spring on this corner. So this is not the actual ride height that it would normally be. We're just seeing how much clearance there is. As you can see, it's going to definitely rub around there and it's definitely touching there. So no matter how much I roll this guard, flare it out at the top, there's always going to be an issue there. That can be combated by doing on the wheel alignment, putting some camber in and maybe towing out a little bit so that way the back wheel sticks in that little bit more. And there you have it.